Good evening, one and all, and welcome to the Toon Review for tonight's 2023, A Year in Reflection, where we look back at all the highs and the lows of 2023. Let's be honest, most of it was a high. It's just a show in the middle of the week to do something a little bit different. And then, of course, we ramp it up tomorrow for the build-up to the derby match on Saturday. So we thought we'd look back on 2023 and interact with you guys about what you thought. What we're going to do with most of the subjects tonight, we're going to give you our three, like goal or highlight of the year. Then we'll put it to a poll. We'll put those three to a poll and see which one you guys think should come out as number one. Alex has obviously done something extra as well. He's put a best 11 of 2023 together as well, and certain other things. So we'll do that later on in the show as well. So it should be a good laugh as well. Just to, let's take the sort of worry and the drama away from what's going on at the moment and have an hour or so just talking about what was a brilliant 2023. It really was, for a lot of different reasons. It didn't end that well, granted, but it did. Most of the year was an absolute ride. So if you do enjoy tonight's show, as usual, guys, please do give it the thumbs up. It's very important we keep those likes coming in on the channel. And if you're new, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, click the logo, click subscribe, and come and be part of this community, which is grown on a daily basis. You can become a member of the Toon Review if you hit that join button just underneath the three of us. And you can donate to the channel as per usual by hitting the $ sign at the bottom of the live comments, which is a guaranteed way of getting your comment read out live. It's guaranteed. Martin Brophy, thank you for being a member for 4 months. He says, best moment of 2023 had to be Wembley. May have got beat, but what an occasion. I mean, look, guys, it's been a hell of a year, hasn't it? It's been an absolute hell of a year. And most of it is plus. Most of it is very positive, isn't it? There's very, very little negatives came out of 2023, didn't it? I mean, just off the top of your head, Billy, I mean, what sort of things have you enjoyed about 2023?
The massive highs of the Champions League, the PSG game at home, the Spurs game at home last season. Watching Isak do things that I've not seen a Newcastle United player do for years and years and years. Yeah. But there's been a few lows, and I count Wembley as a low because it made me cry. I wanted to win that cup so badly, we didn't do it. Although it was a fantastic day, a fantastic kind of adventure that we won, and got to Wembley, and great day was had by all except for the result, which was the most important thing for me. And it really hit me pretty low. But massive highs, bit of a trough at the end, but we'll ignore that for the time being. Indeed. And try and get back to the kind of stuff we had earlier in the season, which was some real good stuff, real good, exciting, get out of your chair stuff.
I mean, Alex, the highlight of your 2023 has to be with myself and Phoebe and that incredible walk that we had from somebody's drive in London to Wembley Stadium. That was the longest walk in history. We must have crossed about 15,000 railway lines. Coming back, it was like walking through the Bronx. But we got there. And what's been, off the top of your head, something that you will never forget from 2023?
Well, I mean, if I talk about what you've just led me in with, I'll stay with that. Yeah. I'm just proud to be a fan of this club. It was a complete accident when I was a youngster. Being from the Isle of Man, I didn't have a club that I just didn't have one. And my parents weren't particularly into football, so I picked us, and it's just been who I've been a fan of ever since I was 5 years old, and it's just never ever changed. I've had people try and persuade me to support other teams, and it's just not interested. So that moment going into Wembley, the walk up to Wembley, it was very, very strange for me as a sort of a younger fan. I'm sort of early 90s, so it was just peculiar, and I'm just a huge sense of pride going into the stadium, and obviously seeing all of us are all in black and white. We've got the scarves, we've got the kit, war flags were there doing it, all fan funded, and you see the opposition there, all in their just generic clothing. They had to have everything provided by the club to provide an atmosphere, all artificially, and I'm just so proud that it is the club. It's very, very nice, and I never ever thought, as did all of us. I mean, I was pretty much expecting we were going to be a Portsmouth or something like that. I was ready for League One, League Two. I thought we were gone. I'm maybe not going to go all the way down with the size of the stadium, but I thought we were pretty gone. So
yeah, I think you're right. I think everybody panicked if we didn't where we'd be now. Simply oblivion. But we'll start the polls off in a minute, guys. But I couldn't start the show without remembering this guy. My brother from another mother, Dave Harrison, who was a massive part of this channel and will always be a legend on this channel. 2 years ago to this day that Dave passed away. One of the most heartbreaking, awful things to happen to such an incredible, lovely guy. His friendship meant the world to me. He guided me through some very difficult times, but he was there for everybody. He was like a granddad to Danielle. He was just such an incredible inspiration to many people, not just with the football, but with whatever he did in life. He did it with a smile on his face. And he is such a huge miss still in my life and in everybody else's life. I will never forget what Dave Harrison did for me and what he did for a lot of people. But we were as thick as thieves for a long time. And, the pain of losing Dave has never gone away. He's always in my thoughts and always in a lot of people's thoughts. 2 years to go to this day was one of the most heartbreaking days that I've ever had to go through. But I know he'll be watching, looking down, very proud of what we've achieved as a channel, what we've achieved as a football club. He will always be part of this channel. So rest in peace, buddy. And hopefully we go strength to strength with Dave's spirit always above us. So I just wanted to say that because, his memory will always live on. So thank you for giving me opportunity to say that, guys. Jay Devlin, thank you for your super chat. He says 2023 highlight was PSG at home. Watching from the RVI in my second spell in, could hear the crowd and the nurses kept dropping in to check the score. It's crazy what memories people have of such amazing days. Looking back, it was an incredible sort of day at Wembley, seeing the flags and, with 5 minutes to go, we're 2-0 down. Man United fans just quiet as mice and Newcastle fans all waving the flags. How could you not be so proud to be a Newcastle United fan? Yes, the result was disappointing. The performance was disappointing. We didn't really get going in the game. But it's lessons learned, and it's our first cup final in a long time, and it's given us certainly a taste of what we need to get back there. The Sport Report says, great pick of your team, Alex. It's the best and greatest all-time team of all time, man. All because our support. We kept them up in the Premier League. Indeed. Lots of messages coming in from Dave. Thank you very much, everybody. Everybody misses him. I've never known somebody have such an effect on literally thousands of people, really. Barth says he joined the channel the week he passed away. Ronald says, I'm fed up with seeing the negativity with us Gandoon Sunderland, like proper Raji. Look, people I think are getting a little bit too nervous about this game. We have to be realistic, and we'll talk about this again tomorrow when we do the preview, but I'm not sort of I'm nervous in a little way because it's a derby. Do I think we'll win? Absolutely, hell yes, we will. And if we don't, then the old Paul rage may kick in over the weekend. So God help my camera and studio. But I am that confident that we will not see the old Paul come back because we will win the game. JV Royal Pythons says, I'd say a fair way to put it is the whole year was a high, except December was a real low and the Carabao Cup final. Some people will look at it as a low, though, won't they, Billy? I mean, you just said there it was a low for you because, it was, I think it was a high for everybody. And certainly, Alex, you'll remember what it was like outside the ground in the fan zone and stuff before the game. Everybody was buzzing, apart from you twisting that you were cold all the time and having to drop into Starbucks to warm up. soft shite. Anyway, but it was just an incredible atmosphere, and we want that back. We really do want that
I'd
back.
just like to clarify that I only had a T-shirt on, which was a Newcastle shirt, and Paul had a jacket.
I had no, it was this jacket I had on, the thinnest one in the world, by the way. And yes, it was cold, and I was freezing my nuts off, but I wasn't going to miss anything of that atmosphere on Wembley way. But you know, some people are just southern softies and can't hack the cold weather. Right, what we're going to do first of all is we're going to go with player of 2023. So what we'll do is we'll pick our 3 players. If it is a tie, then we will simply add another one into the poll. So a 4th place. So get ready to start voting when I put the poll up, guys. But first of all, we need to know who is the finalists for player of 2023. Billy, we'll start with you.
Lots of contenders, but for me, it has to be the Brazilian maestro, Bruno Guimarães, who's been absolutely outstanding for the vast majority of 2023.
Yeah.
He's an inspirational player. He's got skills. He's got determination, heart, never gives less than 100%. And then we all love him. So for me, it's Bruno.
Yep. Okay. Alex?
I mean, I've got to pick the same. If it's for a calendar year, you know, I can see shouts for certain players like Gordon and things like that, but it's for the entire calendar year. So Bruno, at the start of the year, propelled us to get the Champions League qualification and helped get us to Wembley, although we did get sent off, but we won't. We'll scoot over that very quickly. And then, he had a funny preseason, but he was part of the reason we started the season so brightly. And it took him a little while to get going. And we had some interesting and magnificent games in the Champions League. So, and I don't think he's been I don't think he's been bad at all in our bad run of form either. I think he's been exemplary and he's been trying to drag the team. So the calendar year wise, albeit a couple of hothead moments, it's got to be Bruno. I mean, there's the only people that come close, I can't really say because of injuries. Like Botman, possibly if it had stayed fit all year. Willock, possibly if it had stayed fit all year. But they're all ifs and buts, whereas Bruno's pretty much been around for the whole year and he's done the business. Yeah. It's got to be Bruno.
I'm going with Joe Linton. I think Joe's been absolutely sensational in 2023. And to come from the story of Joe Linton, it could be written as a novel from when he came to Newcastle. I think he was absolutely outstanding. His physicality, some of the goals he scored have been beauties as well. And I just think from just the driving force of a midfielder like him, I just love him. I love his physicality. I love the way he plays the game. And from where he's come from has just been an unbelievable achievement. Right, we need a third one in, guys.
I've got an outsider.
Kieran Trippier?
I've got an outsider that was desperately missed. And it's not just about his football, it's about his character as well. That's Jacob Murphy. I think at crucial moments during the year, we've missed him somewhat wrong with his shoulder. But it's his character, it's his general bubbliness and genuine. You can see it in him that he loves the club. And so it'd be an outsider for me.
Well, what we'll do is I put Trippier and Murphy in. So there's 4 players going up in this poll. It's Bruno, Joe Linton, Trippier and Murphy. And that poll is now pinned at the top of the chat. So get voting, guys.
Do you think Fabian Schär is very unlucky to not be in that?
He is. But, you know, this is the thing, isn't it? You could shout different.
I think it's probably Fabian Schär's best calendar year of his career. Same for Jacob Murphy. It's Jacob Murphy's best calendar year for him as well. Yeah. Whereas Trippier, I don't know if is it the best calendar year for him? Possibly, but he's had similar seasons for other clubs. You know, he won La Liga for Atletico, so maybe not. Yeah.
Look, I mean, not everybody's going to agree with the 4 we've picked there to be finalists. You know, there's always going to be people who have different opinions, but at the end of the day, it's all for a bit of fun, guys. So we'll leave that up. We would probably
put more in the poll if we could do more than 4. Yeah. We have limitations on YouTube, so
I can't do more than 4. So, you know, it's impossible. So those are the 4. We'll leave that open for a few minutes. I mean, look, 2023 started as 2024 is starting, really. We were in a bad run of form. If you can remember, a lot of people said that the Carabao Cup was a sort of distraction from what we were trying to concentrate on. And it did affect our form a little bit, Billy.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, it was the first time we'd experienced kind of a few games consecutively We'd come back from the World Cup. Callum Wilson had come back with some sort of virus which debilitated him for what seemed like weeks and weeks and weeks. And we're having to use Isaac all of the time. And what we did have was Joe Willock, though, and Joe Linton on that left-hand side. We still had Maxi at that time, so he was coming on and doing stuff. But there was a little bit of a rough spell, I have to say, yeah, definitely without a doubt. You know, the Liverpool game where Pope got sent off, things went against us in that first month that generally hadn't been before. So, yeah, it was hard to get through. But, I mean, if anything, Eddie Howe and his team are resilient, aren't they? And they came through it.
Absolutely. Look, I think at the end of the day, Alex, we remember... Yeah, we were in poor form, but we remember, you know, the quarter final of the Carabao against Leicester. Then, of course, the semi-final. You know, the semi-final. You know, that atmosphere before the semi-final was absolutely unbelievable. You know, people talk about the PSG game and things like that, but that game against Southampton at home it was just an unbelievable experience.
I can't remember which one was which. So which one was the one Sean scored in? That was the home game, right?
That was the second leg, yeah.
That was the second leg,
yeah.
Transfer deadline day, we did a kind of 12-hour shift.
It was, yeah.
So what was the one we went to? That was when Burn scored, wasn't it?
Burn against Leicester,
It was when Burn scored. Yeah, no. Well, but we were at Leicester and we were at. I think we went to all of them. But what was it?
Yeah.
Bournemouth, Leicester, and Southampton. And so the atmosphere in the Carabao Cup, all of those home fixtures it did get progressively better and better and better as you know we're going to Wembley was being sung around the ground, and you know as soon as we got to a semi-final, especially the fact it was against more than beatable opposition that was struggling in the relegation zone and ultimately did get sent down. You know, I mean, it's one of those where we normally fall at that hurdle, or we have done many previous.
We haven't been used to it. Yeah.
So remember, Southampton knocked out Man City the round before, which was a massive fillip.
Yeah.
So it was concerning, and they put up a good fight. They weren't bad across those two legs, to be fair. They weren't a bad side. They shouldn't really have gone down. They were underperforming across the pitch for too long. They'd got good enough players. They really should have pulled themselves together, but you know, it is what it is. And yeah, the atmosphere was outrageous. There's certain games. And it's rather unique because everybody references some of the Premier League games and maybe the Champions League games, and everybody forgets about the run to the Carabao Cup final. Some of it was magical. It really, really was, because that's the Wembley trip. So,
yeah. One more minute on player of 2023. One more minute, guys, and then we'll move on to the next one. But you know what? I mean, some people complain about the atmosphere at St James's Park, and certainly this season it's been questionable. But we don't know the reasons for that. But when you come to occasions like, you know, PSG and obviously, you know, qualifying for the Champions League or getting through to the final of the Carabao, those are the memories that will live long in your mind because of how it was, the incredible noise in St James's Park. And I don't care what anybody says. When it's loud, it is. There isn't another stadium for me like it. Especially under the lights. It is an incredible place to be. And everybody was just so on a high. It was incredible. Right, let's do the results for player of 2023. And guys, do you want to take a guess at who's won it?
I wouldn't say Bruno.
It's got to be Bruno, surely.
It is Bruno, yes. Bruno won it with 49% of the votes. Joe Linton was second with 30%. 16% said Trippier, and only 5% said Jacob Murphy. But that is
the outsider.
Yes, indeed. Right, the next category we're going to go for is match of 2023. What is the best match that you have had or witnessed in 2023 for Newcastle United? Alex, we'll start with you.
I mean, there's a few contenders in my head. The Spurs game, 6-1, was pretty bonkers.
Just say one, Alex, otherwise we won't have anything to say about ourselves.
Don't go through them. Just say one, Alex.
I'll go PSG.
PSG, yeah? Okay. Billy Bob?
I'll go Everton away. Just for that
Everton away, okay. I'm gonna say Leicester at home.
God, I left you an opening there and you didn't take it. Shit.
You what, matey?
I left you an opening there and you didn't take it.
No, but I'm going to.
We need a fourth one there, don't we? So
yeah,
what I was going to say is Spurs at home.
It has to be Spurs at home. Yeah.
I'm gutted nobody's mentioned the Brighton game. Brighton were one of the best teams in the league at that point. They were outrageous.
Yeah, there's a few people mentioned Brighton actually in the chat as well.
Yeah, so racing Champions League qualification, and we've got a game of that magnitude, and we put 4 past them.
Yeah,
was a massive show of strength. Like,
yes, but
that was a great
remember
game.
that Leicester game though, Alex. We needed a point, and no one will forget that Nick Pope save in the dying seconds of the match. I'll
never put a game as the best when you don't get to celebrate a goal.
Yes, but we were celebrating the Champions League, Alex.
Yeah,
I mean, Jesus.
I feel like the Brighton game was that game in my head.
Yeah, you've got the 8-0 against Sheffield United, of course, this season as well. There's so many you could pick from, but they are the 4. So they are up now. So start voting, guys, for that one. So you've got PSG at home. You've got the Everton away game, which Isak just was a genius. Leicester City at home, qualifying for the Champions League. And, of course, the Spurs game, which was, I mean, look, that game, guys, I mean, I don't think anyone.
It's more about the 5 goals in 20 minutes. That's more of why it was so special. It's not the fact that it was 6. It's the fact that it was 5 after 20. That all the Spurs fans and all the neutrals, every neutral I knew, switched the telly on. My phone started pinging. Everybody started turning it on. Even people who didn't watch football, they went, "Oh my God, this could be 10, 11, 12, 13-0. This could get stupid." Obviously, it didn't. But when you score 5 goals after 20 minutes, everybody just suddenly went, "Oh my God, what is happening here?"
Yeah, Matt Thompson says a good one as well.
Those goals were outstanding as well, you know.
Oh, that pass from Willock, man. Jesus, I don't think anyone will forget that. What a pass that was. Matt Thompson says the Villa 5-1 at the start of the season was also great. Of course, Tonali scored the first goal within the first couple of minutes of his debut.
I mean, in the context of how good Villa have been this season and this year, that looks like a ridiculous victory now.
Yeah. I mean, everybody was laughing, thinking, "Oh, Villa are in for a long, long, hard season." Very, very different. But that first 20 minutes against Spurs, guys, was just, the intensity was incredible. Every time Spurs got the ball, we were all over them, swarming like flies, and it just, nobody will forget Jacob Murphy's big smile when he scored that, thunder cracker from 20, 30 yards out. He'd already scored one, hadn't he? So, and then the finishing, the finishing of the goals was just delicious. Shares ball to Joe Linton to round Lloris and score. There were absolutely superb goals. There wasn't like a fluky one, Billy.
No, absolutely not. There were fantastic goals, great finishing. But that right-footed bent with his outside of his right foot pass from Joe Willock, Christ, living long in the memory. Just an outstanding pass. Doesn't get brought up on TV at all. And it should, because if Kevin De Bruyne would have done it, we'd have seen it every week, twice on Sunday. Every week.
Yeah. Well, I think Isak's celebration was probably the best part of that game for me. The fact I've never seen in the history of football a player celebrate with confusion at how easy it is. He was. It's the first time. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that, but he wheeled away and just kind of went.
Yeah.
What's happening right now? Why are they? Why are we so good and they so bad? It's bizarre.
Lord Wishart, thank you for your super chat. He says 500 odd watching and only 200 odd votes. Hey, people can vote if they want. They don't have to. It's just a bit of fun tonight. Chipper says the Spurs game for me, as they were our main rivals for top 4, and we absolutely pasted them. Harry Kane's, I think there was a photo after the game of one of the goals going in and Harry Kane walking back to the halfway line with his head down thinking, "I can't wait to get out of this." You just got that impression that they were going to win nothing. It was just.
Chippers is right. They finished quite low in the table. Didn't even qualify for Europe, but at that time they were pushing, weren't they?
Yeah. Billy says Murphy waving at the player who got sent off was excellent. That was, of course, in the first leg of the Southampton game. But Murphy's done a few with them, hasn't he? He's definitely got a bit of fun about him, hasn't he? No doubt about that. DJ Gaz Glow says that was tough for me to say. Spurs game was bonkers and amazing, but PSG game for me, we just stunned them, and the look on Mbappe's face. Well, I mean, look, we've spoke about many different things, but that game was incredible, just incredible. And I don't think that could have gone any better. And we've had games like that all through 2023. Marx has explained the comment about the lacking atmosphere at St James's. Mark, I don't have to explain it. It's been there. You know, loads of people have mentioned it through social media and things like that, that it does go quiet at times. You know, I'm not saying that as just the one person just complaining of the atmosphere. I think a lot of people have said that, but there's various different reasons for that. And we've spoken about it before. But look, like I've said as well, when St James's Park is loud, it is there isn't another stadium in the land that touches it for me. It is an incredible atmosphere. And based on where it is in the city, the sound just vibrates across the city. It's incredible. But there is times where it has gone quiet. And, you know, people have said that, Alex, haven't they? That you know, throughout, especially this season.
Yeah, I know there's people that aren't going to like it, but it's just kind of true. There's been times where I've, you know, been part of a small group in the leasers in the corner sometimes, and there's not that many people. You know, they get going eventually, but it's certain games, and it's no secret that obviously there's an issue at the moment with ticketing and maybe people getting tickets to games that. You know,
well, it's like Derek says there as well. Even the Forest fans, where's your famous atmosphere? I mean, look, I'm not saying when we're 3-1 down to Nottingham Forest, the stadium's going to be bouncing. Obviously not. But there has been times I've been sat in that ground and the away fans are much louder singing "Where's your famous atmosphere?" And it takes, you know, something has to happen in the game for it to get going, and that's fair enough. Because sometimes, Billy, you know, we as fans, we have to we respond to what we see on the pitch as well.
That is true, but when you start up in level 7, it's sometimes hard to hear what's going on in the rest of the stadium. So, you know, it's hard for the away fans to actually catch the atmosphere, even if it's not there. But if it is there, they still don't catch it because they're that high up.
Yeah,
you know, and it gets
you don't have to tell me, Billy.
I disagree with that. To be fair, Paul, but I've always disagreed with that. I think it's the fans' job to get going as well.
Oh, it is, but it certainly is. But I'm saying from where the Forest fans or away fans are, sometimes you can't hear the Gallagher, for instance.
Yeah, but Alex, if we're losing 3-1 to Nottingham Forest, you're not exactly going to be belting out a brilliant atmosphere, are you? You're going to be, like the players are, disappointed and struggling to see what the hell's going on.
I disagree. I completely disagree. That's why the away fans are so good, because they do it no matter what. There have been games when we play away where the players walk to the away fans and they're ashamed of themselves.
That's always been known that it's different. But what I'm saying is, you can't, you know, if you're getting trolloped at home, Alex, you're not going to be jumping up and down singing.
I mean, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 away fans do that. I would. I think it's important because you're either going to inspire them, motivate them, or you're going to make them feel ashamed of themselves that they've not done enough for you as fans. But that's just how I feel as a fan.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's an expectation. As somebody who's not from the Northeast, if I go to the ground, I need to know all the songs. Everybody needs to know the words to Blade and Races. Yep. Everybody needs to make sure they're singing every song, and you need to sing your heart out because that's just that is the expectation. I'm not going to go there as somebody who's not from the region and just stand there with my phone out because I think that's disgusting. I would make sure I commit and I, you know, and it's if I can help in any way, give a player or anyone even like 0.1% extra motivation because they've heard a shout or a chant that gives them an extra yard. It all counts. It all adds up. It might not feel like it, but it definitely does. Ask the players in interviews and stuff. The crowd definitely helps them.
I mean, you even said to Miggy, right foot in Spanish, haven't you?
Oh, I have. Yeah. But that wasn't this. Was it this season? Which was the season when we played Forest first at home? Was it the start of last season? Yeah. I shouted with the right foot in Spanish to Miggy as because I was in the front row of the East Stand. I don't know why I was there.
Well, the East Stand.
They all wandered round.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah, it was.
It's the only time I've ever. No, I think I've been in the East Stand like twice ever, and I'm not a big fan of the East Stand. I don't think many people are. But
the East Stand is a mortuary, and Derek says here the East Stand can be like a morgue. In a 30 people times 30 people square where I sit, there's only about 6 or 7 of us joining in with the Gallagher. The East Stand is well known for that. I think it has got better. I think certainly the Leazes corner of the East Stand has started to sing a lot more than what it used to over the last few seasons. Definitely, I have noticed a real rise in noise from that corner and starting songs as well, which is great. Right, let's do the results for this one then. Any guesses to what won, guys?
I'd say PSG.
It's got to be PSG, I would imagine.
It is indeed PSG. 64% voted for that one. Spurs was second with 33, and Everton away and Leicester at home 1% apiece. I'm a little shocked by that, qualifying for the Champions League, but hey, the viewers have spoken. Right, goal of the season is next, guys. Oh, sorry, goal of 2023. So, Alex, would you like to start us off with the goal of 2023 for you?
Not really. I want to have a think about it.
Well, you haven't got time, Alex, unfortunately.
I'll go on straight away.
Okay.
Fabian Schär against PSG.
Okay.
Country mile. The atmosphere, the whole ground lifted, virtually lifted off the floor.
Yeah.
I nearly had a heart attack commentating on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
But to watch the ball fly in that top corner, bend in, it's just a phenomenal strike from a phenomenal player.
Yeah. Well, I'm going for Isak against Everton. I think Murphy against Everton, wasn't it? Not Isak, but it was the setup for the goal. When Isak decided to take it right down the left hand side in just an unbelievable piece of skill, it was absolutely superb. And Alex, have you?
It's a funny one, but I'm going to go for Isak's goal against West Ham when Fabianski tried to come out and claim it. Yes. And Isak, and I think I'm choosing it because it's just a testament to the fact that I think we've probably got one of the most clinical strikers we've ever had. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see how long he stays at the club and what he does. Yeah. But at the moment, when he's fit, he's just stupid. He's elite. He's definitely in that world-class bracket. The audacity there to just, and then obviously it's like a Renaissance painting when you just see both of them, Fabianski and Isak, just kind of stood their hands on hips, just watching the ball float into the net. I'm going to go with that purely just because it's just outrageous.
Okay. Well, I've added another fourth one, which is Isak against Spurs, which of course was that beautiful ball from Joe Willock.
Which one?
Well, yeah, it was the one from Joe Willock. But people are asking about Miggy's goal at Fulham, the volley. That was in 2022. That was in the first half of the season before the World Cup. So obviously we can't count that one. So there you go. There you four. Schär against PSG, Murphy against Everton after brilliant runs from Isak, Isak against West Ham, and of course Isak against Spurs from that delicious pass from Joe Willock. So there you are. They are up live now. Get voting for that one, guys.
Honorary mention is
I was going to come to them. Yeah.
Well, when we lost to Man United in the cup final, and then we played them a few weeks later.
Yes,
that nice little build-up move where Maxi jumped up and heads it across goal, and Willock nods it into the back of the net.
Yeah,
that was a well-worked team goal. We were dominant. We deserved the lead, and it was a nicely constructed move by two people in the team that generally didn't jump up and head the ball in the 6-yard box in Maxi and Willock. It was a bit odd that they combined like that, but it was a good goal.
Coach Austin, thank you very much for your super chat. Great show this morning, Paul. A lot forget we sold Andy Cole to Man United, so people saying Bruno fan favourite, he could be out the door like Cole. Yep. It was a very good show this morning. Very good discussion was held, and talking about, of course, maybe an asset having to go. But back to tonight, the goals. I mean, look, you could say, I mean, Joe Linton's two goals, one against West Ham and the other one against Spurs, carbon copies of each other from Schär's long balls, Billy.
Yeah, both fantastic finishes, and you kind of wonder how he didn't make it at number 9 when he finishes like that. It was unbelievable, calm, cool, and ice cold finishing. Going around the keeper and just putting it in the corner. Terrific goals. Great through balls for both. And he's got an outstanding eye for goal, hasn't he? But it's the ones that you don't expect him to score that he scores, and the ones you think he's got to tap this in, he'll put wide. It's strange, isn't it?
I mean, it's incredible. You look back at 2023, Alex, and you think of all the goals we've scored. There's been some absolute pearlers, and and the majority, the back end of last season on the run to the Champions League, there weren't just simple tap-ins, whether they were beautifully executed goals.
Yeah, I mean, we've scored a lot of goals in the calendar year. I mean, I've got the table up. We'll look at it in a bit, but we've scored 73 goals across the calendar year.
Yeah,
which is decent. It's a lot of goals. Considering we backed off the pace massively in December, we really should have been in the 80s, but it is what it is. But yeah, in terms of the quality of the goals, there was so much variety and all the passing sequences and different ways we tried to learn how to unlock people. 2023 was kind of it was that year where we got a lot better and teams were paying us a lot more respect, and we had to try and figure out how to break teams down a lot more because they were a bit scared of us. Obviously at the beginning of this season, we were able to steamroll teams when we still had that fitness, but the back end of last season, we needed different ways, some of Isak's trickery and Willock's explosiveness. We needed a few different ways to break teams down. And when we got going, the Spurs, it was that run of games where we put 6 past Spurs and then 5 past Everton. When we're in that mood, just nobody stands a chance.
What are you chuckling at, Billy Trey?
You ever seen a post that has 2 words too many? Here's one just here.
Mickey need to retire with us.
It's just 2 words too many there.
Yeah, the Sport Report is a very big fan of Miggy for some strange reason. Thou shalt not say anything against. Joe Willock scored some great goals as well, let's not forget.
Yeah, he has. He's a clinical finisher when he gets close to goal. I've said a few times that actually I think he's our best finisher, but I mean, that was before Isak came, but obviously he's not now. But he's a fantastic finisher, especially from outside the box. I remember the one. I know it was last year. The one at Brentford. Christ, fantastic finish from about 20 yards, bent into the top corner, placed. So yeah, he's and we don't have to
forget at home to Chelsea, of course. Away at Man United in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah. 3 goals, 6 assists last season.
Absolutely.
And obviously none yet, unfortunately, for this year.
Yeah, I mean, Willock is a massive miss, isn't he? He's
huge.
I don't think we realised what a miss he would be until he's actually been missing. Vicky says, I would hope if Bruno goes to Madrid or wherever, he'll still have that connections to the club and might come back after going away and come back even better.
I would hope we'd have a buyback clause in it if we do something to Real Madrid.
Yeah. Miggy can take Matt Ritchie's place once he retires, says Larry. What do you mean, sort of just on the bench all the time? I think he needs to be sold. I don't think Miggy's going to be
we need to keep some depth because we're about to lose about 5 or 6, maybe more players on end of contract. So,
well, Fabian Schär ain't signed a new contract yet, and that's what's worrying me. We're into January now, and he can speak to other teams. I was actually going to do a show on that last week, but obviously there was a lot going on over the Christmas period. But he is yet to sign a contract, which is worrying because I don't want to lose Fabian Schär. I know he's getting on a little bit, but I think to keep him I think we need to. So, but we'll talk about that at a later date as well. Let's do the results of the goal of the 2023. And who do you think has won this one?
I don't know. It's a tough one. They're all good goals. Fantastic goals.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Schär.
Alex?
Probably the Everton goal that Murphy scored, created by Isak.
Well, I can announce that Fabian Schär is the winner with 43% of the votes. Second was just, by the way, Murphy's goal at Everton on 21%. Isak against Spurs, 20%. And Isak against West Ham, 15% of the votes. 15% of the votes went to that one. Right.
And we didn't even mention Joe Linton against Milan, which is another fantastic goal, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, God, it's so hard to narrow them down. This one is a little bit different. It's your low of 2023. So, Billy.
I'm going to say the cup final defeat.
Okay.
Broke my heart. Literally broke my heart. And to watch the fans celebrating in defeat more than the victors were in victory.
Yeah.
It's not only was I emotional because we lost the game, but I got really emotional seeing that. And Just realising how much of a fantastic club we are and how fantastic our fans are.
Yeah.
And it all broke my heart all into the one. We didn't really turn up on the day. Things transpired about it. The timing of it was wrong. But despite that, I was still confident we could beat Manchester United because I don't think they were a good side. And we didn't really turn up. And what they did was they kind of hits on the counter-attack like Eric Ten Hag does. And, 2 goals that they didn't deserve really and held the arm and length after that, which was, 90 minutes to forget. But the way the fans behaved in defeat was absolutely unbelievable. And it broke my heart.
Well, I've gone with Tonali suspension because if we look at that situation now and how much it's cost us not having Tonali available, given everything that's happened in the first part of the season, it's a massive blow for us because we've seen what this guy can do. We saw what he could do in the summer, with regards to his ability. And then he came to the club. He had a little bit of a slow start, but the quality is there. You can see how good this guy's going to be. But it was just, I'm gutted about it because we've been robbed of seeing Tonali. Tonali's robbed himself of being part of this season for Newcastle, and the club have been robbed. So it's a huge blow for everybody involved. Alex, what about yourself?
I mean, my personal one, probably the cup final, but if you want me to throw a different one into the hat, I'll say the late penalty that PSG got undeservedly. Yeah. I think that was almost the catalyst for this entire decline in this period. They put so much emotionally into that game. And we deserved 3 points, and I think we deserved to get out of our group completely. I think we deserved second place, not even third. I think that was a really bad downfall for us.
Yeah,
there's been a couple of bad moments.
Absolutely. I'm adding a fourth to the list, guys, and that's the injuries. Because we have to put the injuries in there because it's been a massive low because we're not seeing our star players on the pitch.
Just a freakish amount of unavailability we've got this. Well, maybe not 2023, but this season. Yeah, I think Willock's hamstring going ping and then recurring injuries is a real shame because we've not really seen him at all since May. Barely. Yeah. It's a real shame. We're in December. I mean, actually, come to think about it, that's a bloody long time. May? That's a lot longer than we first anticipated. We thought maybe he'll be gone for 6 to 8 weeks. Yep. And we're in 2024 and he's still not back properly yet. It's terrible.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. It's the Carabao Cup final defeat, Tonali suspension, PSG's late penalty, or the injuries. That poll is now up and running. So honourable mentions, Billy, that you can think of for a low?
The last minute Chelsea defeat, draw, Costas defeat. Yeah. Trips' mistake right at the very last, where he'd held him at arm's length for the vast majority of the game and never looked like conceding until that moment. Broke my heart again.
You could look back and say that the Tottenham defeat, the Everton defeat, the Luton defeat, the Forest defeat. There's a few in the back end of this year that of 2023. Sorry, that we can look back on and say, oh shit, Liverpool winning 2-1 at St James's Park earlier in the season. That was heartbreaking because of just the thing with Liverpool that we have. And
I'll say what Kenzie's got a good point. Harvey Barnes does even exist. I'm starting to think he's just a dream. I don't think he's actually real. Not sure that actually happened.
Some people have mentioned actually in the comments from the earlier show today that where is he? How is he out this long? Even if it was a broken bone in his foot. It's mental how long he's been out for, and again, it asks questions of the medical department. Many people are mentioning that in the chat as well. Our away record, says Toon Gamer, very good point. That's an honourable mention, definitely, because that is stinking at the minute. But hopefully,
that's not been a year-long thing, was it? That's not been a year-long thing because last season, certainly last year's part of last season.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be the year-long thing.
No, I guess not.
Obviously, the penalty against PSG wasn't a year-long thing, although it may stain us for a year.
We're doing the 2023 review, so it absolutely has to be a calendar year thing, a year-long thing. That's precisely what we're doing.
No, if you think of an incident that happened in 2023, that's your all-time low for that year, people will look back at that PSG penalty and think, what could have been had that penalty not been given? So it is a low. Losing the cup final is a low. Because
no, I meant just generally over calendar. If we're talking about one moment, yeah, fine.
Nick Pope's sending off against Liverpool.
Oh my God, I felt so sorry for him, man. Before the cup final. Well, exactly. Ben's asking, did Barnes need surgery? Do we know if Barnes had surgery?
He's not real. I refuse to believe he's real until we see some more pictures. I'm putting my foot down. He's not a real player. It doesn't exist.
Don't say that, Alex, where Harvey Barnes concerned.
Yeah.
He can't put his foot down, mate.
Well, yeah.
Exactly, can't. Tom says it's a... Oh, my God, Tom, why do you test me with these bloody words? It's a Lisfranc injury. Very rare for footballers, more common in rugby players. Wonder if they've had any help or support from the Falcons. It would make sense.
It would make sense, especially given the Falcons are bottom of the table and cast adrift.
Yeah. It's not going well for them this season. The only team that is performant on that pitch are the Newcastle women's team, football-wise. They're the only team that's getting any joy off that pitch this year. Looney Tunes says they didn't do surgery originally and then had to do it in the end anyway. Again, it's one of them, just get the surgery done and get the recovery done. Instead, the wait.
Same with Murphy, isn't it? Same with Murphy.
Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah. And look what happened to him. He comes on and within minutes, it's out again. But, it is one of them things. Right. Let's get the results of this one. Then we're going to have a little fun poll before Alex does his 11 of 2023 to round up the show. We always put the fun one in at the end. The low of 2023. Guys, what do you reckon?
Could be any of them, really. They're all pretty low points, aren't they? I mean, for me, it was cup final, as I say, but...
Instinctively cup final, but I think because it's more maybe recency bias, the PSG penalty really hurt because I feel like that moment robbed us of progression into another European competition or continuing in the Champions League. So, yeah, it's probably close, I would imagine.
It's not close.
No?
No. 53% voted the PSG penalty.
Wow, yeah, I mean, it hurt a lot.
Second is the injuries on 19%. Third is the cup final on 18, and the Tonali suspension on 10. So everybody is still very, very sore. Foxy's mentioned the FA Cup against Sheffield Wednesday.
Never
Jesus
happened.
Christ.
Never
that
happened.
was a low.
Didn't happen.
It was a huge low. But we're going to do a little fun one now, which is Host of the Year. Which we always do. We do it every year. This is just for a bit of fun, guys, as usual.
Just all vote for Billy. Don't give it to him.
No,
Everybody vote for Billy.
No, not at all. Everybody vote for Paul Stato.
Don't vote for Stall. That's very different.
Jimmy.
Well,
Caviani.
It's just the three of us for this one. So there you go. Host of the Year. Get voting, guys. It is in there now, and then we'll look at Alex's 11 of the year. But listen, while that vote's taking place, I just want to say a few thank yous for the past year to our fantastic mods who have been absolutely incredible over 2023. Stepping up all the time, being a massive, massive part of the Toon Review family. You guys have been simply incredible. And I thank you, each one, for the tremendous work that you put in behind the scenes to keep the chat going, to make sure everything's done respectfully and things like that. You guys are the heartbeat of the channel. Off camera. People don't realize how hard it is to be a mod at times, but you guys just breeze through it every single time. You are absolutely incredible. So thank you to the mods. I want to say thank you to you guys, Billy and Alex. Without you guys, I'd be, swinging through the trees on my own, and it would be extremely difficult. You guys, step up for me when I'm poorly. You give me the support when, through this illness that I go through. I can always count on you, for not just being on camera, but your friendship. And that means absolutely the world to me. What you two bring to this channel is second to none. I couldn't think of anybody else that I'd rather present the shows with and be part of this channel and the journey with. So thank you so much to you guys. yous are incredible. Yous really are. To Susan, who does incredible work for this channel behind the scenes, with the merchandise and with the support she gives me. Nobody can see that. It's just an incredible support network that she gives me. The love and the care that she gives me is just unbelievable. The woman is just an incredible human being, a heart of gold for anybody. And I am one very, very lucky man to have Susan in my life, because without the support, I don't know where I'd be. So thank you, Susan, for everything that you do, not just for me, but for the channel and our kids as well. But the main thanks, as usual, goes to you guys out there, because, you know, whatever we do on this channel, you guys always keep coming back. It's always incredible to see how many people come on the shows. Even on the morning shows, we're getting 500-600 people joining me now for the 11 o'clock shows. Just so you want to have your say. You want to be passionate about everything. You want to just have fun with us all. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. You know, we'll always get the numpties coming in and having a dig at us and things like that. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, that the higher this channel goes in the rankings, the more numpties come out the woodwork and try and ruin it for us. But never will, because you guys make this channel what it is. I think we have the best subscribers out of YouTube completely. I've said that a million times. It does feel like a family, because we get to know all your names in the chat when you pop up all the time. And it's like a close-knit family. It's brilliant to be part of. And hopefully we can grow and grow and grow in 2024 and become one of the top Newcastle channels, which is where we want to be. We're not going to make any bones about that. We want to be there. We want to keep the channel going on an upward trajectory for as long as we possibly can. And that's what it's all about. So, you know, thank you to you guys. Thank you for your memberships, your subscriptions, your super chats. Everything that you do is massively appreciated. And I wanted you guys to know that, because sometimes everyone just throws super chats in and things like that, or pays membership fees and things like that. Well, I'm sorry, but, you know, it's incredible what you do. It is incredible. You always step up when we do our charity ones. You step up for that as well. It's an incredible community. So thank you so much from everybody at the Toon Review for what you guys out there, the viewers, bring to us. We appreciate every single one of you. So thank you very much for that. Right, shall we get the results of Host of the Year, guys?
Yeah, why not?
How do you think it's gone?
Drum roll, please.
33.3% each.
No, it hasn't worked like that. Billy has won it on 45% of the votes. So well done, Billy Trey. You have stolen the trophy from me, you bar steward.
I'm a magpie. What can I say?
Well, yes. You know, you're just a pair of fannies at times, to be quite honest with you, if I'm being brutally honest. Some of the jip you've given me this year has been nothing short of horrendous, and I am disappointed with the viewers on that vote. I think it stinks.
I'll tell you what, though, it's seriously a team effort. I mean, I think we've got the most unique and fantastic blend between the three of us. Yeah. We all contribute different things. We wouldn't be the same without any of us. We've found the perfect mix. So, I mean, it's a team event, and taking individual awards and team event not really sits right with me. But thank you very much for people to vote for me. I love you all.
It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. That's all it is. It's brilliant. It's brilliant to be part of. Alex, me and you were pretty much the same, to be honest. So there's not much between me and you. So there you go. But it is a team effort, of course it is, and it's absolutely fabulous to be a part of. But Billy, your jokes, I mean, are outstanding. Alex is, brains of the Toon Review, with all the stats and stuff like that. It boggles my mind at times.
Somebody's got to do the transfer shows, or we'd just be doing Mitrovic every week.
Well, that's very, very true. Of course it is. But you know what? It's brilliant. It's absolutely superb. So thank you for voting. Call Me Swift says the channel wouldn't be the same without any of you. That's all I'm saying. And let's not forget Danielle as well, because she was a big part of us and Jack as well. Jack's
I was just going to say a shout out to Jack for obviously helping us a chunk of the year as well.
Jack as well. So not forgetting those two. It is the three of us moving forward. So you'll have to put up with our three ugly mugs now. Geordie boy, thank you for your super chat, and thank you, Paul, and the best pair of fannies in the business. Thank you very much. Kenzie says the Toon Review is the best NUFC channel by far. Paul is a near TV standard host. Well, thank you. Alex has great sports knowledge, and Billy is the glue. I voted Paul. Thanks, Kenzie. Siderita says, he's accepted the award with his giggle. It's the Klopp rant that swung it, Paul. Oh, let's not even go there.
We lost notes for that.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Chipper says, Paul Gallant has a speech to make. Well, not on this freaking channel, he doesn't. Not a chance. We'll be here for 3 years, man. Sport Report says, best NUFC streaming station of 2023 and going into 29-24. I think he means 2024, but if we're still here in 29-24, I think we'll look a bit old. To the point where we won't have any skin if it's that long. But it's the way it is. Right, Alex, to wrap up the show, let's have your team.
There's two things, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but Alex, you've got round about 5 or 6 minutes, mate. So, here we go. Take it away.
So, league table, calendar year, worth having a look at. Where are we? We're in 8th. Not quite where we were maybe a month ago when you looked at this league table. It is rather unfortunate. We've definitely shot down in recent weeks. 66 points over the course of the calendar year from 40 matches. Only 2 points behind Brighton and 3 behind Tottenham. So if we hadn't have had this horrible wobble of form, we definitely would have been sort of either just behind Man United or maybe even in front of them. So a little bit of a shame.
Can I just stop you guys? I just want to mention Ian as well. Ian's been an absolutely incredible friend to me in 2023 through some difficult times that I went through. He's an absolute incredible friend to have. So Ian, I just want to give you a big shout out, matey, because you've been you've been round the house and things like that, and we always have a good laugh, and you always pick me up when I'm down. So thank you, mate, for being there. You're one of my best mates, and I'm proud to call you that. So thank you so much for everything you've done as well. Me and Susan absolutely adore you guys. So thank you. Just wanted to say that. Sorry, go on, Alex.
Yeah. So 8th place, 19 wins, 9 draws, 12 losses, a very, very healthy 73 goals. So more than West Ham behind us. Billy does make a good point that we've only played 40 matches. So we've played 2 less than Tottenham in 6th. So arguably we are in that big 6 bracket. I mean, it depends what happens in the next few fixtures, but we pretty much are there in that big 6 bracket over a calendar year. So considering everything that's happened recently, it's fine. The trajectory from where we were in such a short space of time, we are round about where we need to be. We're not going to keep losing matches like we are now, whether it's with or without Eddie Howe or whether it's with whatever. It doesn't matter. We're up there now. We're doing what we need to do. We will steady the ship at some point. Why is everybody saying 9th when we're 8th? Am I blind? Why are people saying 9th?
No, it is.
It says 8.
Yeah.
I'm so
Alex,
confused.
sorry, I've just missed a comment from Predator, who's celebrating 7 months of membership. He says, good that I've missed the show, but heard your speech there, Paul. Amazing, my friend, and thank you for the love and support you've shown me this year. You're very welcome, matey, and hopefully you're still on the road to recovery, Preds. We love you, and just keep us posted as to how you are, mate. Sorry, Alex. Yes, you're definitely right with 8th.
West Ham have gone to 9th with the draw. What, to take them to 6 points behind? What? I'm so confused. Anyway, we'll ignore that. Let's go on to the team of the year. This is my team of the year. So obviously people can chop and change this. Billy and Paul, please do give your options on this. I've gone with Wilson's got to lead the line because I can't put him on either wing because he can't run. Isak has to be in the side, therefore he's going out on the left, and Gordon's got to be on the side and he's going on the right because he's played there a few times. So no space for Miggy in the 2023 front three, I'm afraid. Gordon has done enough this season to make it into the calendar year 11. Bruno, every day of the week, 3 times on a Sunday, goes in as the starting midfielder. behind Willock and Joe Linton. I feel like Willock, out of everyone else this year, with Miley, Longstaff, and Tonali, I think Willock's probably given us the most. It's just a shame he's been injured, so it's marginal. But I'm going to go with Willock, and then Joe Linton, I think, is a fair shout. And then the back four, controversial. There's one controversial choice here, but yeah, Nick Pope in goal is pretty. It picks itself. Trippier is the right back. Botman and Scherer is the centre-half partnership that have done so much for us. And then I'm going to put Livramento as left back purely because I want him in the team for how ridiculous he was when he first came into the side. He basically made his debut, man of the match, played a second game, man of the match, and it was against Man City and Man United. And he just forced himself into the team and went, no, I am far too good to be left on the bench, even though he was only 20 years old at the time. And I understand that Burns scored a goal in the Champions League. I know that Burns scored important goals, and over a calendar year, he probably deserves to be there because he's had a lot of good moments. Dan Burn has in 2023, and he does probably deserve it. But I just feel like Livramento, based on the fact he just went man of the match, man of the match, man of the match. You got to pick me because I'm amazing. He just forced his way into that team, and there's not really been anyone else like that. Under Eddie Howe's very patient. He signs someone, he beds them in super, super slowly. Livramento went, nope, I am good enough. You will pick me. And he just kept playing Livramento because he was just so, so good. Playing him out of position. Livramento's played right wing, right back, left back, everywhere. And that's my 11 for the season. What would you guys change?
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I understand the Burn argument, but I think you have to take into consideration the impact Livramento had. And every time, even when he started playing for us, coming in for the cup games, he was getting man of the match. He was just an absolute breath of fresh air. And I just think he's going to be an incredible player for us. But you could argue Dan Burn has done nothing wrong. He came in and was solid at left back for us last season. But I'd agree with Livramento. I think we have to go on what he's done as well. And I don't think I'd change anything, Billy.
Well, the one change I would make, purely because we've only seen him for like a couple of months, beginning of 3 months, is take Willock out, put Joe Linton there and played Sean Longstaff in it, well inside the midfield. Because apart from the last 6 weeks, I think he's had a fantastic year.
Yeah, that could be a one as well. Absolutely. I think... I've just seen a comment there saying, I wish this was our lineup on Saturday against Sunderland. I think we would absolutely destroy them if that was our side on Saturday. But unfortunately, it isn't going to take that sort of shape. Guys, that league table, just to clarify, was from the calendar year of 2023, not this season. We have not played 40 games in the league this season. You only play 38. So it is a calendar year, guys.
I'm doing a thing. Hang on.
Who's doing a thing? Okay.
I'm going to go. I don't know. Maybe and then Willock. If I absolutely had to pick the biggest thing of this year is I would love to play a different formation for a change. I'd love to play with a number 10, and I think something like this would be absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
I know we can't do it, but yeah. And then you've obviously got Willock to come in and yeah. I'd prefer to change formation. I think this would be disgusting.
Yeah, but Eddie doesn't like to change formation, does he? So, Anything else, Alex, before we wrap up?
No, it was mainly just about that. I mean, I did bring up Joe Willock's stats because I feel really sorry that he's still injured. He's been injured for pretty much forever. I feel like it's worth reminding people of how good he was at progressing the ball. Just outrageous. Top 1% in Europe. He's incredible. We need him back. We missed the ball progression. Everyone's slow as absolute soil at the moment. Nobody can make a recovery run. Nobody's got any explosiveness left. We miss Joe Willock so badly. This boy can run all the time and he's rapid. He's so quick.
Sorry, repeat what you said there, Alex. He's just what?
Everyone else in the team is slow as soil because I don't want to swear because I don't swear on the channel typically unless people really tilt me.
Well,
but
that's not what you were doing before the recovery speed. You horrified me. I was taken aback by such disgraceful language. No, but look, slow as soil is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen soil move though.
Well, you soil yourself and you have, don't you? So it's
not that kind of soil, Trey. I knew you'd go there. Of course, you'd go there to finish the show off. Disgrace again from Billy Trey. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I didn't say shit. I just said it there.
Dear Lord. There's no help for him. There is no help. But there you go, guys. That is a wrap for tonight on looking back at 2023. Thank you so much for taking part in the polls. It's just been a bit of fun. It all ramps up from tomorrow, of course, where we start looking at the derby match on Saturday. I'll be back at 11 o'clock with Newcastle United news. Then we are back as a 3 tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for the match preview. It should be a cracker. We haven't done a Newcastle Sunderland preview ever on the Toon Review. We are doing it tomorrow night, so it's absolutely going to be tremendous. So please join us 7 p.m. for that, and hopefully we can all finish the show tomorrow night with you all confident that we're going to destroy the Mackhams. Alex will have his graphics and show us how we are going to score lots of goals on Saturday against our friends down the road. But thank you for your super chats and new memberships tonight. Thank you, mods, again. Billy, Alex, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, in the chat for joining us again. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we do thank you for joining us. But we will see you all again tomorrow. So enjoy the rest of the evening. Alex is going to see us out tonight. Take care, everybody. Good night.
No way, the lads and lasses.
We shouldn't have sold Maxi.
Come back and check out some green.